Hi everybody and welcome to the Open Crime market commentary for the week of the 15th of July. My name's Simon Clark from Trade with Precision, standing in for Toby Gennaro. Okay, so the first market I'm going to take a look at today is the S&P 500. This is the mini futures contract, the ES contract. Just taking a look at here on the monthly chart, still in a lively bullish uptrend here, nice bullish momentum. All our moving averages in the right order as well, fanning very nicely, and we've all got lovely convergence here on the indicators too. If anything, we're still starting to get a little bit extended from the moving averages, but certainly there's no evidence here of any kind of potential pullback at the moment. If we come down here to the weekly chart, we can see this in a bit more detail. We still could see our lovely ebbs and flows in the market as the market's still making higher highs and higher lows. And each time price comes back into the buy zone, as we can see here, we're testing the buy zone here. We've actually had a pullback here recently back into the buy zone, and now we're finding momentum and pushing back up to test new highs. Nice convergence here on the indicators as well, and just looking very, very nice. If we come down here to the daily chart, and if I just open this up a little bit, we can see here on the daily chart that this pullback that we've recently had here on the weekly is a little bit further here, more of a significant pullback here on the daily. We've come back, tested this 1,550 level, which has been sort of prior support and resistance. If I just drop a line in there, you can kind of see how many times this, or how significant this level has been. It's been sort of support, it's been resistance. Price has come back, tested this level, and then the prevailing trend has continued. Certainly got some nice buying momentum here on our MACD and our RSI, and certainly the market looks very, very strong. If we come down to these lower time frames, and at the moment I'm looking here at the 240 chart, we can just start to see down on these lower time frames, we can start to see where there's potential sort of trading opportunities in the direction of the trend. Each time the price comes back into the buy zone, we've got all the moving averages fanning very nicely. We've got lovely convergence here on the indicators. We come back in, small bullish candles, break to the high side, and we get nice bullish momentum. So there's sort of trend flow trading opportunities in these types of markets as the market continues and as we get pullbacks into the moving averages. So looking at the S&P 500, on some of these time frames, like the daily time frame, like on the monthly, starting to look a little bit overextended, and at some point I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get a bit of a pullback just into the averages, but at this moment in time there doesn't seem to be any evidence of that setting up at this moment in time. So just coming down to these lower time frames, looking for trend flow trading opportunities as price pulls back into those averages. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the smaller market now and take a look at the Russell 2000. This is the TF contract, the mini futures contract again, and just taking a look at this market, we can see again, likewise with the S&P 500 with the bigger market, we've actually still in a very nice uptrend here again. So here on the monthly chart, we can see this 850 level has been tested a number of times. We've broken straight through that, and price is now moving head on up to and surpassing the 1000 level. We've got all our moving averages in the right order and lovely convergence here on the indicators. So looking very, very bullish. Again, like the S&P, looking a little bit overextended here on these higher time frames, but at this moment in time there doesn't look to be any kind of evidence of a potential pullback at this stage. So just coming down to the weekly chart, we can just see again, as price pulls back into the averages, pulls back into this zone, we find momentum and push up to the high side, and this has just happened a number of times now. So it's just pattern is just repeating itself time and time again. We can see all our moving averages in the right order. Indicators just sort of a little bit flat here, but price momentum extremely bullish and making new highs. And again, we've ploughed straight through this 1000 level again, which is quite a big number. So coming down to the daily chart, let's just zoom this up a little bit. We can see this price action in a bit more detail. And if I just draw on here a level around the 1000 level, we can see that price has tested this a number of times in the past. Now we've had our pullback, we've now pushed straight above that level. All of our moving averages again in the right order. Very strong buy momentum indicated here by our indicators as well. So again, looking a little bit overextended, but at this moment in time doesn't look like there's any evidence of a potential pullback at this stage. So again, looking on these sorts of markets, I'm just coming down to these lower time frames. Now this is the 4-hour chart. Again, coming down to this sort of time frame, you can start to see, as price is coming back into the buy zone, it's testing this 10-period moving average, we're getting trend flow trading opportunities to the high side. It looks like a very, very nice strong market, and we've got nice convergence on these indicators as well, and just looking for these ebbs and flows to continue. Now the last market I'm going to take a look at today is dollar yen, the FX currency pair. And if we just take a look at the monthly, and what I'll do is talk through a couple of levels which are quite interesting on this currency pair. And looks like there's some nice sort of trading opportunities in the process of setting up through the course of this week, certainly to keep an eye on, around these levels. Now if we take a look at the monthly chart first of all, we can see that most recently we've been in a very strong uptrend here. We have very strong bullish momentum. Our moving averages are now just turning round into the right order, but we've certainly got lovely bullish momentum here on our MACD and RSI. Now recently price has come up and it's tested this parity level, this 1000 level, and we can see that this level has been historical support and resistance in the past. It's a big significant number, and price has tested this as support and resistance in the past, and we're just performing similar sort of action here over the past few months. If we come down here to the weekly chart, we can start to see this a bit more detail. So we know this 1000 level or 100,000 level here has been significant support and resistance in the past, and it's also a big round number. So we can see if we take a look at the current price action, price has come up, it's tested this level a few times, eventually broken through, not being able to move too far, pulled back underneath it. In doing so, we've formed another level here, this 94,000 level, which has been also support and resistance. So we've tested this a number of times, we've come back, tested this level again, turned round, and now we've come straight back up to this 100,000 level again. We're just around that level here again at the moment. We've got all of our moving averages in the right order, and at the moment we've got a small candle. We're right in that buy zone, right around that level. So it's looking like a very interesting sort of area to be keeping an eye on for price. Now if we come down to the sort of daily chart here, we can start to see a bit more detail as to how price has respected this level in the past, how many times it's tested this. Looking, if I just open this up a little bit, we can see that price has punched above this level, pulled back underneath it. In fact, it sort of came back into the sort of buy zone, and now we're just in the process of pushing up above that level. Got certainly nice bullish momentum here on the MACD and the RSI, and although we haven't got our 50-period moving average in the right order here on the daily chart, certainly the momentum of the market certainly looks very strong to the high side. Now what I'm looking for on this market is just to keep an eye on these lower time frames, and I've come right the way down here to a 240 chart. We can see here on the 240 chart again how this market's respected this 100,000 level. We're now sort of just price has pulled round. It's just recently pushed right above that level, but it's pushed up with some very strong momentum and big candles. We certainly got some nice agreement here with our MACD and our RSI, but our moving averages are not quite in the right order just yet. But because of the action that we have here and this big candle, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get a bit of a push up and then price pulls back and consolidates around this 100,000 level and we can look for potential trending up or trading opportunities off this level in the direction of the prevailing trend. So This is what I'm keeping an eye on this market for dollar yen, just to see, around this sort of 100,000 level, see what sort of trading opportunities we can look out for on this market. So that concludes this week's market outlook. I'd like to thank you for watching the Open eCry market commentary and look forward to speaking to you next week.